Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tom. I'm an Open University student, and in today's video I'm going to talk about my experience through Open University exams. Now, just as a word of precaution, might not be 100% right for yourself. I can only go on based on what my experiences are with the exams. You might have a very different experience, but I'm basing mine off of my exam I did last year and 2 exams I've got later this year. So just take everything with a grain of salt. It might not be exactly how I say when you come around to doing your exams. So first off, you need to find out how, if your module that you're going to be choosing or have chosen has an exam. And the best way to do that is when you come to choosing your modules. Obviously, if you're just signing up, you'll be at the stage 1, but I'm signing the stage 3 modules this year, so that's why I'm on stage 3 bit anyway. So when you go through, there's obviously your long list of different modules. Start with the top one, Data Management Analyst. If you go to the full description, maximize that so you guys can see better. This gives you there's a module there with a module code, credits, study level. Obviously it's level 3 module, so it's level 3 OU level, that doesn't matter. There's a big long list of what you'll be doing, what you'll be studying about. And then in this little box, it says coursework includes 2 TMAs, 7 ICMAs, and end of module assessment. Now, if it's got end of module assessment, that means there's no exam. It is an EMA at the end of the year instead. You either have an exam or you have an EMA. You can't have both. No residential school, which is typically a day school. Not many modules will have day school. So that's if you've got EMA. Now if you've got this one, software engineering, for example, which is one I'm doing this year. Again, module code, credits, study level, description, down here, 3 TMAs, examination. So that means it's got no EMA, it's got an exam. So that's the easiest way to find out whether your module that you have chosen or going to choose, will have an exam or not. Now, when you've got a module that has an exam, when you first start the year, so if you start in October like most people do, it's usually either October or February, not long after you've started anyway, you'll have a rough estimated date of when your exam will be. It's usually like a week almost, a Monday to Friday sort of variation, usually in June. You'll get like a 5-day spread of, it could be any one of those days. And that's right at the beginning of the year, so if you, like I say, if you start in October, you will find out then the 5 days in June that you might have an exam. If you have more than one exam, it might be all in that week, like I have. I have 2 modules this year that have an exam, and they were both had the same 5-day sort of spread that it could have been on. So whether or not they put all of the exams in 1 week, I'm not sure. It might fully depend on what other modules you have and how many exams. If you have 4 modules, you might have 4 exams, in which case they might have to spread you out more. I'm not sure. But you do get a good idea of when it'll be engaging to book it off work or just work childcare out. You get the idea. You find out pretty early on. So then it gets to about Christmas time, and at Christmas time is when they'll push it down to the date and time, so you know exactly what date it'll be and what time it is. From my experience, again, with my exam last year and the 2 I've got this year, the exams are 3 hours long. I think the one I did last year was 10 mile 1, and the same again for the 2 exams I've got this year, both 10 mile 1. Again, I don't know if it's a standard thing, but from what I'm guessing, they are all 10 by 1, or not 10 by 1, but they're all 3-hour examinations. So I'm guessing they will do a 10 by 1 and then maybe a 2 or 5, maybe they have 2 exams. I don't know. The location, sadly, you do not get to choose where your exam will be. They do, however, try and get the closest place to you. I was going to have an exam the very first year. I live in Wakefield, which is a city in Yorkshire, and the very first time they booked me an exam, sadly I postponed that year, but when they did book me the exams, they booked me a venue in Leeds, right outside the train station at a hotel called the Queen Hotel, I think. and Leeds is very close to Wakefield. It's literally 15 minutes on the train. But like I said, I didn't do that one. Then when I went for the same exam the next year, they booked me in Bradford, which again, a little bit harder for me to get to on public transport, but in terms of driving and stuff, it's not that much further. It's kind of like, it's literally, I think it was like 25 minutes or something. I don't know. It wasn't that far anyway, in the grand terms of things. My point is, if you live in the south, they don't want to book you an exam in Newcastle, or vice versa. You know, they will try and get one as close to you as possible. Again, I presume it's to do with everyone else that needs exams are around you. They will try and kind of group you all together. And they tend to be in like public venues as well. Both the exams that I've done were based in hotels, so you're in like the venue rooms for them. So you find that out about Christmas time. Well, you find out the date time around Christmas time, and then a few months later they'll give you the location. But like I say, it's not always, you can't choose it suddenly. You can choose a location for day schools. I've done a video on a day school I did on a module, if you want to check that out. They give you a long list of different venues over 2 weekends, and you get to pick which day school, but sadly you can't do that for exams. Now, the exams themselves are pretty straightforward. They kind of just like exams at school. You kind of all turned up. We were waiting outside the lobby in the hotel. They called us through. Next to the doors to the venue room was a long list of all the different tables, and they all had the names on. You find your name, find your table, go sit at your table. They will have more than one modules exams going on at the same time. But again, that's why I think they're all 3 hours, because we all started and finished at the same time. I don't know what other modules there were. The one that we're doing was MST 124, which is a maths module. But the others were doing other modules. However, like I say, they were all 3 hours regardless, because they all started at 10 and we all finished at 1. So, but yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You go through, you sit down at your desk, you do your work. My only thing that I maybe see in the future is whether you've got a practical aspect to your module. I don't know how it will work then. I don't know if it's always just method based and writing down. Like I'm doing a programming module this year in Java. There's an exam at the end of the year. I'm not sure yet if the exam is on the practical aspect or not. It might not be the case. I don't know how it will work with them. That might be something else. You have to maybe find someone else on YouTube that has done your module in particular to let you know what the exam is like. I'm swaying towards it being more just method based, simply because the TMAs are quite practical heavy. So I don't know. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. I apologise. Yeah, they were very straightforward. They let you know what you can and can't bring. Usually there's something in your books that you can bring, some sort of like handbook or something that you can take in with you. You're allowed bottles of drink and food to treat you as an adult. You're not a kid anymore. Obviously they say try and think about others, don't bring in like noisy crisps and stuff. But we had people there with bottles of water, we had people there with just bottles of pop, some sweets that they'd opened up prior that didn't have wrappers on. Yeah, the cans of pop. You can bring whatever you want basically, but just bear in mind you've got one little square desk, so obviously don't bring out a big buffet of food. Not going to help you in any case. You'll just take up all your room at your desk. But like I say, you can bring in what you want essentially. Obviously, goes without saying, don't bring in anything that has writing on, in case you're cheating. Obviously. Anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much that. You've got a start time, get at 10. I would advise you to get there a bit early, maybe 9:30, especially if it's a city that you've not been to before, just to plan out driving and stuff. Again, from my personal experience, I feel like they have picked venues closer to public transport places. Like say the one in Leeds was right outside the Leeds train station, and the one in Bradford I think was like a 5-minute walk from the train station. So they do try and keep it quite close to public transport. But I think that's it. If you've got any questions, let me know in the description, or you can ask me on Instagram DMs. I do get back to you as fast as I can usually, I don't know. Anyway, links in the description, feel free to ask away, and I will see you in the next one in a bit.